and Team Mould in the house with me. I am excited to get to know you a little better and your channel and your do-it-yourself world. And we were just talking pre-show about Wisconsin. So we're going to get into all things Team Mould here. Let's say hi to people in chat. A lot of people were in early. Thank you, Caitlin. I saw you were in here. Caitlin already hooked up. So there's two people I want you to hook up tonight. We've got Magic Mouse TV, my sponsor, at 199 subs 3 minutes ago before I, walked out of the room to do my last moment thing. So get him over 200. I'm sure he is there by now, but get him some love and let's see that number go up. And then Jessica from Team Mould, my brain and my mouth weren't on the same speed there. Give them some love too. I've dropped both of those links. But anyway, Caitlin, you said you did that, and I appreciate that. Hey, Tim, what's going on, my man? How are you? Team Mould's in the house. I see you. Big Disney fan. Welcome in. I'm so glad you are here. James Ryan, my friend, thanks for being a member. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being active on the Slack. I appreciate that. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Ohana Magic in the house. Detroit Disney. Did I say hi to James and John? Yes, I did. The Lingerers in the house. Noel and the Bobo in the house. Members, thank you so much for being members of the channel. It means the world to us. I'm going to Walt Disney World. I like that a lot. I'm going to WDW. You're my new favorite YouTube handle. I love it. Mar in the house. What's going on, Mar? Welcome in. Kay Atwood in the house. What's going on? And you know who else is here? Jessica from Team Mould. I think I got to know your name from the Resort TV One streams, right? I'm pretty sure that's where I first heard of you. How did you get connected with them?
I started following them when they hit, I want to say around 20,000. And I just fell in love with the fact that they did every single Friday night a stream. And you said earlier, obviously, I live in Wisconsin. And unfortunately, I can't get to Disney as often as I'd like, although I do live very much a Disney lifestyle. And so we used to watch their channel every week. And then I remember when they hit 30,000 and then 40 and 50. And I decided at that point it was time to help sponsor them. And so we decided to reach out to Josh and just see if they were interested in, a YouTube channel sponsor. And from there, we just became pretty quick friends. And they're great people. We took a little bit of a break sponsoring only because of everything going on, but we're getting ready to gear back up and we're going to be sponsoring them again very soon. So,
I love that. But that's where I think I first heard your name. And then it's easy to get me if I know you're a Disney channel, but then when you're a family-friendly, based, centered, is that the right way to say it? Disney channel, you're right up my alley. Hey, ZZ Gaming, yes, you can have it in. Call your mom. I'm sure she has some for you.
Look at that. Hey, Make It Blue is a cheesehead too. Way to go.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, I hear you guys take your football serious up there. We should dive into that right now. Are you...
last year I felt so bad because you had the whole football thing going, and so we would tune in on Thursdays, and I was the one going, go Packers, and you guys were like, no, done. Cut that out. So
there are not many things that I dislike more than the Packers. And one of the things I dislike more than the Packers is actually Aaron Rodgers. But that's a whole nother conversation.
It is. That's a Thursday night. You guys have that coming up. I saw that again, too. So
that guy is so good. I hate him with all my football being. But that's all right. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Not really, but he's good.
I don't know him personally. So, I couldn't tell you.
I don't know him personally either, but I can read things. But anyway, so what made you start a YouTube channel? That's really the best place to start this conversation.
Well, I am a very creative person at heart. I went to college actually for costume design. And so when I first started with that, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to do all this costume stuff. And then I realized I'd have to live in a basement my whole life. And I went, no. And so I was like, I need to come up with something else that, I can do. And so I ended up going into technology, which is totally a side thing. But because of that, I learned so much about like YouTube and social media and working at a help desk, stuff like that. And my husband knew that I had such a love of Disney. And he said, why don't you try and figure out a way to incorporate your craftiness, your, creativity, and then put it out there and see if people will follow along. And maybe you can meet some more Disney people, because a lot of my family, and I'm sure a lot of you out there too, end up with the whole, you're going where on vacation again?
Yeah.
And my family, I'd be like, but I love it there. And like, okay, what else can you do? And I'm like, okay, if you go there and you eat hot dogs and you eat burgers all week and you tell me you went on a couple rides, you don't know Disney. And
that's funny you say that. I don't know, this couple years back, and I was, never read the comment section of a blog post or whatever. And I was doing that. And Tim, no, you're right. I do hate the Eagles more. I have a lot of football hate, I guess. The Raiders are the team I hate the most, but that's a whole other thing. But I'm in the comment section, and the guy's talking about how the trip was horrible, and the hamburger was $19.95, and all the French fries were cold, and the Disney food was so bad. And I'm like, wow, that guy goes to a whole different Disney than I go to, because being a foodie, I mean, I was skinny before I fell in love with Disney, and I'm far from skinny now. And the food of Disney is one of my jams. It's one of my favorite things. And if you go and you just stand in line and get a $19.95 burger, and your kids knock over the fries, and you leave Disney hating the food, good, because the lines are going to be shorter for me, because that is not the experience I have. I don't understand it. So Wisconsin, Disney. I'm guessing Orlando, not LA. Am I right? Orlando over Anaheim, right?
Yeah, I do. Florida, Disney World is mine. That's my favorite. I love everything about it. I've been out to California, and it's a lot of fun. But for me, it's just not the same. I know everybody kind of has their own parks that they go to. And that was the one my mom, when I was about 6 months old, started the tradition for me. And she took me down there and said, let's go. We'll have a good time. I mean, I didn't understand all that, right? Because I was 6 months. But that was the first time I had gone. And then after that, she realized it was such a fun place to go that we would go every single year. We'd save up all year, we'd go. And I have so many memories. And it just became something that when I met my husband, Aaron, I said, have you ever been to Disney World? And he goes, no. And I went, what does that mean? What do you mean no? Like, no, I've only been there once. No, I've only done that. What do you mean no? And he's like, I've never gone there. Ever. And so I told him, I said, you know what? I said, then fair game. How about we go there on our honeymoon?
Yes.
And I said, we will save up. We'll do the all-inclusive, which was amazing. Like, we did the 3 meals a day, every recreational thing we could pick, stayed at the Wilderness Lodge, 9 nights, 10 days. I mean, we lived it up big time. And I showed him all the amazing restaurants. We went on all the rides. I planned the thing to death. And he came back and went, I get it. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. And so when he said, let's start the creative thing, let's, go through this many years later, that's kind of how the channel went. Because he said, we had such a good time. You planned a good job. So let's go forward with it. So
I love that. A couple of people popped in. Yeah, Mar, he needs attention. Don't give it to him. Life with Ralph in the house. What's going on? So glad to see you here. Somebody else popped in. Oh, Detroit Disney Duo, talking a little NFL there. My coworker is the mother of Josh Jones, who's playing for the Packers now. That's fun. Somebody else had a question or a comment. I can't find it. So from Wisconsin to Orlando, I'm guessing you go in the winter to get away from Wisconsin cold, because I've never been there, but on those games that I watch now and then, it looks pretty dang cold to me.
It has. Well, we've had the polar vortex stuff lately, so it's been really cold.
That sounds miserable. I think I watched that on, isn't that on like AMC right after Walking Dead? The polar vortex?
No, feels like it though. No, we typically go. Our Halloween is our favorite because obviously, I went to college for costume design. Yeah. So for many years, my husband and I, before we had kids, would go every single Halloween, and we would dress up full costume. One of my favorite stories, I went as Belle from Broadway, and he said, I want to go as Van Helsing because my husband loves he loves Hugh Jackman. So beyond, yeah. And I said, okay, I'll make you the costume. You like what?
Kate Beckinsale.
Nice. The other half of that. So I told him, I said, I'll make you that costume if you'll wear it in the parks. And he's like, it's going to be 100 degrees. And I said, you want the costume? You're going to wear it. And so he wore it to the Mickey Not So Scary Halloween party. And I was like, well, let me go grab a Dole Whip. And he said, well, okay, I'll wait here while you go do that. And when I came back, he actually
worked in Dole Whip. I like the extra points for working in Dole Whip at any time.
Tried that. So he actually, when I came back, he had 4 little kids standing in line. Oh my! I was like, we're going to get kicked out. Do not do that.
Not on Halloween, but yeah.
Oh, it was hilarious. So one of the Disney cast members walked up, and she goes, your costume looks great. Go ahead, just sign the stuff. Hurry up, keep moving. And so all these little kids were like, sign my books. And he was like, he said that was his moment. So,
you know what? That reminds me of a story. I may have told this on the show before. I have 4 daughters. My first two we adopted. We got them at 4 and 6. So we were probably 4 and 6 or 5 and 7 years old when we were first at Disney, and we dressed them up as princesses because they wanted to. And there was these, man, this one trip. I mean, there was these two girls we were walking, Japanese. We couldn't speak their language. They were Japanese tourists, and before we just walked through the aisles or through the turnstile, and we're not even in the park barely, and they were freaking out, and they took pictures with the kids and all this, and it was like that all day, and it made like. Not that my kids need self-esteem boost, but if they did, boom, it was that the day.
No.
And as an adult, I'm sure it's the same but different, right? I mean, I work with kids. Little kids being excited to see that, that's cool. There was
this little boy, and I remember he was dressed like a pirate, and he just was like, I love you, Van Helsing. You did so good in the movie. And Aaron was just, cool. I mean, he was in his moment, you know? Oh. And I remember being kind of like, hey, well, I'm supposed to be. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Go ahead. Go. I'm not jealous. Go ahead. Have fun. But it was awesome.
It's kind of your fault, right? Like you went to college for this stuff. Obviously you're pretty good at it, or the story wouldn't be a story. Hey, the Dookie crew, what's going on? I mean, obviously you did a good job.
Yeah. I mean, it was really fun. And when we got back, I just remember he took the coat off. And because it was so hot, I think he added about 100 pounds worth of sweat. Oh. And then the next day we went to the post office over in Celebration. And we mailed it home. Because I'm like, I am not taking that on the airplane with us. It's going home. So we shipped it home.
Staying here or it's flying in its own little box. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it was a big box, but yeah, it shipped home.
We were there. Yeah, I bet it was. We were there for last Halloween, and we'll be there for this Halloween. The girls, my wife and my two oldest, who still live. Too. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Maybe we'll bounce into each other. The girls dressed up. So my youngest, who's I don't know 16 or 17 at the time, she really was into oh my gosh the Disney, oh my gosh, what's
Descendants? Hocus Pocus?
Yes. How did you get that? Oh my gosh. So she really wanted me to be Hades.
Psychic.
Boom. So I just made my hair blue, but they dressed up. They were all the Sanderson sisters.
Yep, and I saw that.
About 3 minutes into the day, they went from this is awesome to this is miserable. We are sweating, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just blue. But going all out for that is so much fun. But could they bring a little bit of the fall over to Orlando for Halloween? Because it's hot.
Yeah, but it's fun. We've gone many times for Halloween. We also have gone in like May time in the spring. Like this year we were supposed to go in March, end of March. So we were kind of bummed, but it's okay. Rather stay safe. And you know what? We'll be going this fall. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I love it. Well, we'll have to talk offline and see if we're there at the same dates. That might be fun. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about your channel. So if people in the chat don't know your channel, here's how I would describe it. And then more importantly, you describe it. Family friendly, DIY, Disney, go. Am I close? And tell the people what I'm right on, what I'm wrong on. Sell your channel to the peeps.
You bet. Hey, well, Team Mould, it's my family. So you've heard us potentially on Resort TV 1, and it's kind of funny because it evolved into the Team Mould. Yes, right. And so we were like, my husband grew up with, they would always tease him because his name was Aaron, so it fit. And so now both of our daughters' names fit into that as well. And so I was like, it's awesome. And my husband's like, no, you didn't grow up with that last name. And I said, what's wrong with it? I love it. I'm embracing what I am, right? Amen. And so I tell him he's a fun guy all the time. Joke. Anyway. Right. Like a fun guy, Mold. Anyway. Yeah. Cheesy puns. If you come to my channel, there's lots of those too. But anyway, so what I do on my channel, we do a lot of family-friendly crafting. We are so inspired by Disney that we love to bring it to almost everything we do. Last night, for example, just an example, we just launched a video where we decided to bring Epcot home. So one of the things we do for the kids, because we live in Wisconsin, we can't always get to the parks, is we'll try and do like a Disney evening. And we did these even before everything was going on. So it's kind of fun to see everybody starting to come up with ride ideas and the food ideas. And last night we did an evening at the Coral Reef. And so Sendix had a great, I don't know if I say their name. They had a really good deal on seafood. So we did that. We did the whole meal, did menus. My husband found a light that made it look like we were under the sea.
That's so fun.
It was amazing. We also do DIY crafts. So we do a lot of sewing. I do a lot of how to do different Halloween costumes. Anything Descendants. My kids are obsessed. That's probably how I knew that you were thinking Descendants.
My youngest is obsessed with it. So much so that she snapped it out of my brain and couldn't think of the name of it. But yeah,
We watched that movie on repeat just entirely too many times. I can't even, like, I know every song, the whole bit. We also do adventures where we love to go into the parks. And I always try to think of it like things you could do with your family, like creative things you could do. And one of the things we had scheduled for this time when we were supposed to go in the spring is that we were going to be doing fun things you can do with your kids in line, fun things, different ideas like that. So I don't want to say them all, but that's kind of what we do. We also adventure around where we live. Wisconsin is a very unique area. We get a little bit of everything. Like we have the domes, and the domes, if you've never seen them or heard of them, they're very much like living with the land here. And we've got 3 of them.
No way.
Yeah, and it's called the domes. And it's kind of cool because every time we go there, the kids are like, oh, it's living with the land. And I'm like, I know. So we can get our fix. And we've got a lot of interesting things that you wouldn't think are here. So we kind of take people on adventures there as well.
I love that. See, I love to travel. I usually go south. Now that I live in Texas, it's harder to go south.
True.
And I lived in Southern California, so I guess I kind of lied. I like to go to the warm. I stay south in the winter and the fall is what I really mean. But as I'm getting older, I'm more excited to check out the Great North, the Great Northwest. I've looked at Washington and Oregon, but I've not done anything. Been to Chicago, but nothing in between those two. And then New York. Yeah, so you guys got all the beautiful trees and all the lakes and all the rivers.
It really is very beautiful up here. I mean, if you can get away from winter, so spring through fall, beautiful time to visit. I mean, even our zoo, it looks like a huge park. There's all these beautiful big trees and it's gorgeous. And, so we like to incorporate that kind of stuff in too, because I think people don't, they see so much concrete that they forget that that's how zoos can be. So,
yeah. So I want to revert a little bit to what you said earlier. You mentioned Hugh Jackman. If you go check out their channel, and you need to, please do. I think they're both here. Let me look. I don't want to lie to you. I think they're both in like the last 2 weeks. They're both in the last week. You have 2 videos, young lady, who are doing very, very well. And they don't have anything to do with Disney. You want to talk about those?
Sure. Like I said before, my husband absolutely loves Hugh Jackman. And last year, Hugh Jackman went on tour, and it was pretty funny because very much like Disney, people were like, what does Hugh Jackman do on tour? Does he run around like Wolverine, or does he what? And we were like, he sings.
People would pay for that probably. So
yeah, he was on Broadway. He's done musicals. He's done other stuff too. And people didn't realize that. And so the person you saw earlier, the I'm going to Walt Disney World, she's actually one of my friends. We've been going to Disney for years and years. Her and I went before I met my husband. And she decided to surprise us with upgraded tickets.
Nice.
And so we ended up sitting where we were. And I brought this little I kid you not. You're not supposed to bring big cameras. So I'm like, okay. So I found this little one that had the most amazing megapixels. And I'm like, well, we'll just go and try. And it came back with the greatest video ever. And I had a lot of people. I shared a couple. And people were like, can you just share the rest? And I'm like, well, I guess we got nothing else to do right now. So why not? We'll share them.
Right. So. Well, I mean, my gosh, yeah. 3,000 and 2,000. I mean, that's to have 2 videos in the last week, both hitting over 1,000. I mean, that's goals, my lady. That's goals.
And that was within 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, oh, nobody wanted to go look at it. And then all of a sudden I got up the next morning and it was up to like 2,500. And I was like,
yeah, everybody wanted to look at it.
Well, welcome everyone.
So. Yeah, right. Now, hopefully it brings new people to your channel, right? Hey, Mikey, how are you? Hey, Bill, how are you? Dole Whip Dad as Green Bay Packers owner. I'm liking this. Yeah, yeah, that's right. You can be an owner of the Packers, right? Aren't they publicly traded? You can buy stock in them. That would be cool.
There were a couple questions too. I went to school at UW Milwaukee. They had a theater program, and it was called the Professional Theater Training Program. And so for 2 years, that's all I did. It was a conservatory program. So we pretty much, eat, drink, sleep, theater, which was fun. But again, I didn't want to live in a basement, so I just decided to change that. And then I went into IT, right? And most ITs are in the basement anyway. So,
you got there anyway.
So win-win there, right? And then somebody asked me, how long does winter last? Well, it depends. Typically, November to like March. But this year it started in October, and then it went away for 2 months, and then it came back, and then it went away. So it's kind of been hodgepodge, but usually a couple of months.
I have a life rule: nowhere near Canada. Thank you very much. And it sounds like you're too close to Canada to me. I think of Wisconsin. I think of the University of Wisconsin. I'm a big football fan. Obviously, University of Wisconsin's a nationally known organization, and so it's huge. And then I think Happy Days. Should I think Happy Days? Was that?
Yep.
Okay.
We've actually got a bronze Fonz downtown that you can go and get your picture with if you choose to.
My first cat, and still the only cat that I really liked in my whole life that wasn't in the zoo, I named Fonzie because I happened to be a big Fonzie fan when I was 6 years old or whatever it was. I don't know.
Well, there you go. Now you're going to have to come up here and get your picture with the bronze Fonz.
I mean, I would do that. I'm not lying. I would do that. I like the Fonz.
And you could go to the domes. You can get in some living with the land. All of that good stuff.
Love it. Mar in Memphis says, thank you for introducing me to Team Mould. I subbed to her to watch her content. Yeah. So if you like DIY, do-it-yourself stuff, if you like, well, obviously, if you like Hugh Jackman, apparently you're the place to go.
Right now, I suppose we are. But, I mean, that's not really the focus of our channel. It's just a fun side thing that we threw up there because people were emailing that they saw that I had pictures. And so yes, go and Google that. Bronze Fonz. I kid you not. And he's even got the thumbs and you can, yeah. But yeah, I mean, what?
He better, yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's got the whole, yeah. And, but the true goal of our channel is to really, get families connected. I mean, we're not necessarily for children. We're for parents to kind of come up with ideas on how to do fun things with their kids, or how to create art or how to create something fun for the kids' room or how to create some kind of costume they can use. So the other thing we do on our channel too, my husband does spray paint art.
I've seen that.
Yeah. And so he goes, I want to learn something creative. And I said, okay, what are you going to do? And so he started going on YouTube, looking around, and he found this guy that did paintings with spray paints. And so he went to the store, bought a ton of spray paint. I'm sure the store was like, what are you doing? But he came home with a whole tote full of it and just started painting like crazy. And so now the two of us will do where he'll paint it, and then I'll paint like a Disney character on there.
So
we did like a Wally, where he did like a big moon, and then we have Wally and Evie. Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it. Mar going to, I see Sherry having fun with the emojis. That makes me happy. Sherry, Mar wants to know about the domes. I'm going to talk a little about Disney here in a minute, but I want to know about these domes too. So enhance that a little bit. She's intrigued, and so was I. So you said it's like.
So there's no boat ride, right? It's not a boat ride. But you know that part when you go into the actual living with the land where it comes up and then all of a sudden there's all the vegetables and everything growing and there's like the big dome that you go into.
Gardens of Orlando, yeah.
Exactly. So you go into that. We have 3 of those.
Okay.
So there's one that they call the show dome. This is like my ad for them, right? One is like the show dome. The one in the middle is like the desert. And then they have a third one that's really tropical. And so it's kind of cool because, like in the winter, a lot of people will go to the tropical one just because it feels like Florida.
So is Pauly Shore there? Is this Biodome? Are you just punking me? Like what?
No, but it kind of looks like that. But no, he's not there.
By the way,
we did have what's his name? Screech. We did have Screech that lived in Wisconsin for a while, so not exactly the same, but same kind of. Yeah, I
gotta be honest. Pauly Shore hilarious, even though people hate him now. Screech not so much. Hey, Orlando Mike, what's going on? Hey, Lynn, what's going on? So the domes, we'll get off the domes in a minute, but now I'm confused. So the domes are something you walk in and you see the hanging.
You actually walk through each one, and they've got trails for you to walk on, but so picture it without the water ride and with trails that you can walk around. And
without Pauly Shore, okay.
Correct.
And without the fawns. Sounds cool. Right. It's in Milwaukee, somebody asked, and I promise we'll get off domes here in a minute.
It is. Yep. It's right downtown.
So, and Brewers, I mean, how did you guys get away with naming your baseball team after beer? Like, I would like to know how that worked out.
Well, if you come to Milwaukee, trust me, that's about what Milwaukee is. It's beer everywhere. Oh, one of the cities near us, their whole thing was they actually have the Guinness Book World Record for number of bars per capita in one block or in a series of blocks.
Madison? Yeah.
No.
I think Madison's like party town.
It's actually near like all downtown area. Nice. So, keeping it classy, Milwaukee. No, I love it. That's where I grew up. So,
yeah, and I'm not a Brewers fan, but you guys do have you've had a good team lately. Big Christian Yelich fan, but that's a whole other conversation. Let's get back to Disney. So,
we've got the Bucks too. Don't forget them.
Giannis, he should have been a man.
I'm not a basketball person, but we ended in first, and so we'll see what happens when they come back to potentially Disney World. I saw some of that. So
yeah, the Greek freak is truly a freak of nature. He is amazing, and the Dallas Mavericks should have drafted him, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh yeah. So how often do you get down in Disney? Once or twice a year? Is that what you said?
That's what we've tried to do, and we've done that now. I've done my whole life. My parents did that for us. That was kind of their thing. They'd do Disney in either the fall or spring, and then they'd go to Vegas. Because that was a very family-friendly town. So they would take us there. I had been to Vegas. I had been to Vegas probably 8 or 9 times before I was even 21. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you watch the Griswolds, that Vegas Vacation, that is completely my family. Like I watched that movie and I'm like, did they just follow us and write notes?
Me and you then. My grandma and my grandpa would go, like we lived in Southern California. They lived in LA. I lived in San Diego. I was probably a regular in casinos in Vegas at the age of 12. We should
stay in those little lines. Don't go near the casino machines. That's all I remember as a kid.
World then, man. They would let you do. I had all kinds. I had stuff. I liked it. We
went when Siegfried and Roy were still. I actually saw them when I was a kid. Yeah, they were amazing.
From just walking through with all the smoke, but I didn't. But
yeah. And I remember when the first time I went, I was 15. And I remember my parents, because we had gone to Disney forever. So I'll loop this into Disney. We had gone to Disney. Oh, Cubs fan. Ooh.
Annette says go Dodgers. Thank you, Annette, for the go Dodgers. I see that.
We had gone to Vegas, or we had gone to Disney every year. And so then they took us out to Vegas. And so when they said, well, there's a place called Treasure Island, what do I think? Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm waiting for people wearing pirate hats and costumes and swords.
I mean, you're not wrong with that part.
And then the cab pulled up and I'm like, okay, why isn't the guy dressed like a pirate? What's going on? And she's like, well, there's a show out front. But so I was a little disappointed, but it's fun.
We used to have that good. I don't know if they might still have that great show in the front. I think they've changed it since, but I haven't been to Vegas in years, but we used to go a lot. Like seriously, Southern California families, we went out there all the time. It's funny.
Is that like a 4.5 hour drive? Because I've done that where we flew into LA, go to Disneyland, and then we would drive to Vegas and fly home.
We would do it in 4.5, depends on where we were. When I lived in San Diego, it was probably 5 if we were driving slow. Then I coached a little about high school basketball, and the guy I coached with was a big Tarkanian fan, so we went to UNLV for some stuff. That's a whole other conversation. But I have some good Vegas stories, and I have some Vegas stories that I will not be telling. But good stuff. But yes, Annette, you know what? I love Cubs fans because they someday they get to become Dodgers fans. Hopefully you're there soon. Okay, so you started your channel because what? Mm-hmm. What made you start your channel? Obviously, you're a creative person.
Because I what?
Obviously, you're a creative person.
I am. And I wanted to do something that I could share with other people because, like I told you, my friend was on here earlier, and I wanted to be able to share my art. I wanted to be able to show what creative things I could do. And we've got a bunch of stuff that I'm still working on that I can't wait to share. But we've been trying to bring Disney home. How can I live a Disney lifestyle without it being too Disney in your face? And so we started doing a bunch of crafting, and my husband said, you should share that. And so that's kind of how the channel started. And from there, we've kind of built up slowly. One of the goals I had was not to just throw a whole bunch of things out there. I wanted to make sure that I, got to know the community, got to know the people, got to know what people liked, what they didn't like. And so I've really tried to build up, what I think people might be interested in. Not everything, everybody's going to have different levels of crafting. But it's a lot of fun, and I love it. And I love being able to be creative and artistic and share that with you guys. So
I love that. I love that a lot. Now was it a virtual? I think it was a virtual run Disney, which I haven't done. We've almost done. I need to. I needed to before the pandemic thing. Now I really need to. Like I go up and down the stairs and I'm like, oh, I need to get out of the house. But so this virtual 5K thing, tell me, you did a video, I don't know, a while back that I remember watching, maybe, a month ago. I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah, it was about a month. Yeah. I've never done one. And so all of a sudden I'm at home and I'm like, what are we going to do with the kids? We need to figure out something. And all of a sudden I stumbled upon this, and apparently it was like a magical moment because I went and did some research afterwards, and I guess it sells out within 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And so I have no idea how I magically hit that time frame. I went on, I hit record on the thing because I'm like, wow, I got to capture this because I want to show Aaron what I'm going to sign us up for. And went ahead, signed up for the Haunted Mansion 5K, and went back to show my friend, and it was gone. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it's kind of cool because they have like banner, like the bibs that you can print off.
Yeah.
And so then with the kids, we went out and we made them each bibs, and we went for just around our neighborhood because we have a lot of parks here. So we were able to go and run in the parks, and that was kind of nice.
That's cool. We've talked about it for, I don't know, a good 6 months or so. I don't know. Every now and then they send me an email, and every time I go, hey, we should do this. And then I don't do it right then and I forget. But so would you suggest doing it? Will you do it again? Because I'm leaning towards doing it the next time there's an opportunity.
I would. I think it's kind of cool. We love to collect interesting Disney stuff.
I mean, the medals look cool.
Well, we love Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion and Pirates. And we even joke, like when we fly in, we're not annual pass holders. We haven't gone enough. I mean, it's our goal to maybe eventually get there.
Yeah, we're not even going enough.
But we went through, and so what we love to do is collect our specific rides. And we've even joked, like when we get on the plane, like we've been delayed before by our plane. And I'm like, that's 4 Haunted Mansions and 2 Pirates. So let's go plane. We got to get there. But we like to try and collect Haunted Mansion stuff. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's another Haunted Mansion piece that we're going to need. So
I love that. Hi, David. Well, so that's not where I was going to go with this, but I'd rather go there. What do you collect, especially Haunted Mansion stuff? I might be a collector of Disney stuff myself.
Well, I've got a lot of Haunted Mansion. I've got a lot of Funkos back there. I like a lot of the Disney Funkos. Like we've got the Sanderson sisters because I love Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Like I said, went to college for costumes. So, I mean, one year we actually, my sister, my best friend and I went as the Sanderson sisters before it was cool. So this was like 90s.
Wait. It was always cool. Come on.
It was always, I thought it was always cool. So for me,
it did get popular. I will admit that it got popular later.
It kind of hit this like, yeah.
I actually saw something. It might have been today on Twitter. How did they put it? I bet basically it was Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus. I'm like, can we not ask that question ever? That's not even close.
My daughter, we had Amazon set where they could go on and purchase an accident. And my older daughter, when she was like 3, went on and started clicking buttons and ordered the Halloween Town. And I was like, oh, great. We got the HD version. And so we watched it and I'm like, what? This is not even, no. So it was like weird Halloween masks and stuff that I would, yeah.
So I have 4 daughters. My 2 youngest are still with us. My 2 oldest actually are both about to give me grandkids. They're currently on the same day. How cool is that? But that's a whole nother thing. In like 3 weeks, they loved that show Halloween Town. And I probably watched it 100 times. And it's hard, you're sitting there, you're being the dad, and you're like, this is the dumbest thing ever. But even now as an older dude, people love that show. And as someone who's into costume, I'm guessing you didn't love it because the costumes were pretty poor.
I didn't. But you know what? I kind of feel, I know the dreaded F word, Funko. Sorry.
That's the F word for Bill, my Bush League baseball in here.
Sorry.
We had a Funko Pop based show one night. We have a guest who's a Forever Freaky Funko. He's going to be back on. He wasn't able to be on the night he was scheduled. He had a family issue. So I just showed my Funko Pops that night. And it cost my buddy Bill like a couple $100.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Well, my husband loves them and he's obsessed. And I'm fun. Like, I'll take a couple of Disney ones. That's more than enough for me. So,
do you have a favorite? Which one's your favorite?
My newest one. I don't know if I can reach it. I don't think my headsets will reach as far as I am. I ended up getting the Skyliner. I haven't been on the Skyliner yet.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I know the Funko.
I've seen it many times over while they were building it. And we were supposed to go on there in the spring. So we'll get to go in the fall. Yeah. But it's huge. Like it is like a massive Funko.
I want it. It's funny.
It's so cute.
My kids wanted to go on it. My wife wanted to go on it. My kids wanted to go on it. We were at the boardwalk, but we ended up having dinner and the night was over and all this, but I don't know. It looks fun, but
yeah, so that one's my favorite. And
good stuff. Well, we're going to take a quick break right now. I'm going to talk about my sponsor, who is Bill, who did spend too much on Funko Pop. Magic the Mouse TV, the YouTube channel, and Magic the Mouse, the podcast. Do me the favor of checking out Magic the Mouse TV's YouTube channel tonight. He was at 199 subs as we started the show. I haven't looked since we started the show. I'm hoping he's at 200 by now, but get him over to 210, 220. Give him some love. He's a great guy, great channel. Also, the podcast is great. Sorry about the cough there. Huge production value. I love his podcast. Yes, I've been a guest on the show twice. Yes, Lynn, who's in chat's been on the show twice. Yes, the Orlando guy's been on the show twice. Yes, ignore those shows and watch the Jeff one because we're in a competition. And it's fun, but you can listen to them all. Just listen to mine twice because I like winning. Matt and Alex in the house. Funko, once you start collecting, it never ends. It's kind of like, I feel like it's Breaking Bad, the blue crack for Disney people. I have to admit, like Funko people are a thing of their own, and the Disney Funko people is only the part that I'll let myself in. I've got a few other ones, but it's like Disney pins. I've got enough things I collect. I got my Disney pins. I've got my Funko Pops. I've got Disney cards. This is a 1965 Disney set. I collect too much, so I need to stay away from learning of the new things. But you just bought a new one, you said. So did you get a bunch of the Halloween ones or the Haunted Mansion ones from last year? Because I hear they have a whole new.
We have all of them. Because my husband loves them as well. And so I said, all right, let's get them. And then all of a sudden they just announced that there's another, I think it's like 5 or 6 more of them that are coming. So
yeah, I was happy and unhappy at the same moment in my life when I thought they were having more. Because I want them, I have to have them. I actually was hoping I wouldn't like them. Maybe they'll be ugly. Maybe they'll be a character I don't care about, like there is one when I need them all. Good stuff. All right, so back to your channel. So you started couple years back, right?
And 2 years. 2 years officially for this channel. And I do a lot of art as well because I draw and I paint. So like here I got my Flynn Rider and Rapunzel that I did.
I love it.
It was supposed to be worn at my next vacation, so I figured I'd break it in today.
My favorite princess, and we love Flynn too. That's a great one. I love it.
My daughter's actually.
Wait. So you created that?
I drew that. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
And it goes all the way.
That, but it took me a minute to process it because, I'm me and I'm slow. Nice. Oh, it's Team Mould.
Yeah, it's a Team Mould one. There it is. Boom, boom.
I love it. Do you sell those? Is there merch?
Not yet. We will be. We will be soon. I'm working on it right now. Let me show you one thing. I should have grabbed it before we started.
Go ahead.
So I'll just do a little show and dance here.
So
here
as Jessica goes and gets that, as you know, we did well last week with Lake Winter Visitors. Yes, you can still use what is it called? The referral? I don't know. Put in the code Dole Whip, or is it Dole Whip Dad? I think it's Dole Whip. If Dole Whip doesn't work, it's Dole Whip Dad. It's 10% off. They did very, very well last week at least from people who messaged me saying they were going to get a shirt. Unfortunately, we're not be able to buy Jessica's shirt yet, but I'm pretty sure if enough of us say, hey, we want that, she'll figure out a way to let us buy it. All right, what you got?
All right. So the other thing I love to do on the channel, I don't know if you've seen these.
Punzi is the best. Yes. Oh no, I don't know what that is then. I recognize the character, but now I don't know what it is. No.
Whenever we go to the hotels, we love to decorate the windows.
Oh, very fun.
So I actually craft these like live. So you know those two, right?
Say again?
Princess Leia.
I don't know what you said.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, you were asking me who they were, right? Okay.
Yep. So for the last trip, I love to do a lot of these with on my channel live. And so it's funny because people go, oh my God, Jess, we can't do that. And I'm like, no. We'll do all different levels. We'll do easy ones to hard ones, right? So like a super easy window cling, what we'll do is we'll take these.
You got to make the shine not get it.
We'll move that light. How's that?
Okay, so is it Princess Leia?
It is. Okay. So that's a super easy one.
I got that because you put though, but I see it now.
And then what we'll do is you actually get them laminated, and then you can put them up on your windows at the hotel.
Yeah.
So last year when we went, it had been the first time we went to Toy Story Land. And so I made all of these for the kids.
Wow, nice.
And they're super easy, but you can see the laminator I used didn't. So make sure you laminate them good.
Fun.
Yeah. So we did a Mary Poppins one live as well. And it was fun because I was live and I said, okay, what's missing? And they were like, she needs a hat. And so right there in the video, I changed gears, drew the hat, and that's what we ended up with.
Those are cool.
Yeah. So for this year, I wanted to kind of go above and beyond and kind of show more than my basic ones. And so the first one that I did, my husband is obsessed with The Mandalorian. And so this is the one I made him.
Oh, yes, baby. Oh, the child. I love it.
Yeah. So everything starts with the Mickey base, and then we build them up from there. And it's so much fun because we get so many like Disney like guests and even people that work there that'll come up and go, oh my God, who did that? And it'll be like, oh, that's Team Mould. We did that. So
I love it. Hey, Blue Nose, what's going on, my man? Those are cool. So are those, do you sell those? Do you?
I haven't. I just do them for fun to share with people. I mean, I suppose I could.
You know what I find fun? Making money. I think it's super fun.
I suppose if you reached out, I would definitely be able to make them for someone.
I will hit you up before.
But I love doing I mean, and this one, because we had never gone, we missed getting to go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Cool. Yeah, that's
cool.
I
drew all these, and I actually have a video to show you me drawing it and actually doing the whole process.
How long did it take you to make? Because that is
2 hours.
That is awesome.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Lunos, I see you having fun with the Daryl Eves emojis. You know how long that would take me? Forever. Like it would.
Well, and it was funny because I had just drawn this, and then people go, "You need something else." So then we threw a tree in there, and they're like, "What about that bird?" And I'm like, "Okay, let's draw the bird."
You needed more. That's amazing. Whatever.
So that's the kind of lives I do. The only other one I have that's for this trip was this one.
Oh, Heimlich.
He's a beautiful butterfly.
He is.
He's my favorite of them. So, but yeah. So those are the 3 I made, and so I owe my littlest daughter, who is named Flynn, for Flynn Rider.
No, I love her already.
Yeah. Well, we have a Celine, cool. And then we decided I wanted something Disney, and I'm just not I was like, no Belle, no Ariel, no whatever. I'm like, something different. And Flynn Rider is my favorite character of all. I love him. And it was so weird because I was on the internet. I Googled something and it said in Ireland, one of the top names is Flynn with an E. And I was like, so what do you think of that? My husband's like, done. Find a really girly middle name and we'll make it work. So
I love it. Flynn's a great character too. I think, I don't know, those two, it sounds not very manly for me to say they're my favorite couple, but they're my favorite couple, Disney couple.
They are. Yeah, and they're fun. They're so much fun to interact with, like at the breakfast.
I even like the horse.
Nice. You like Maximus.
Harder to interact with at breakfast. But if you have apples, it works out okay. I think you need an Etsy shop. I was thinking the same thing, Lynn. Do you have an Etsy shop? And if so, thank you. And if not, why the heck not?
Well, I do. But I do something a little different other than Team Mould, so it's kind of a weird
on your stuff because I either forgot about it or I don't know about it.
You might not know about it. I don't really talk about it on my Team Mould stuff. I also own a rubber stamp company named Jessica Lynn Original.
Nice.
And I've been doing that for 15 years, and I draw all the art for it. It's clear photopolymer stamps for scrapbooking. So that's where I had this.
Got it. You hear the noise I made? So I vaguely know what it is. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you for is that a super sticker? Smiley face that is awesome. John, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you so much. Tell me more. I want to hear more.
Yeah, so I started it 15 years ago, and that's kind of where my passion for being able to share my art came from. We were in Oprah magazine about 6 years ago. Yeah. They featured one of our stamp sets. Yeah, I've got a whole back wall behind me. You can't see it, but way back there, where I've got all my magazines that we've been in, and it was kind of my...
over that too quickly. Let's say you were in Oprah magazine?
Yeah.
I once was getting my haircut, and I opened up Oprah magazine. That's as close as I ever got to that. That's insane.
Yeah, it was a crazy moment. The company actually emailed me on a I think it was like a Friday, and they said by next Thursday you have to have the stamps to us so we can take pictures of them to put them in the magazine. Can you do it? Yeah, I'll do it. What do you need? When do you want them? I'll leave work and I will go do it now.
And so what book do you want me to read? I'm in. What the heck? Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Hey, Vibri, what's going on? Vibri Project, you're my guest next week, right? Vibri Project, my guest next week. I'm pretty sure. I got a big Chewbacca in the way. I'm pretty sure they're my guests next week. If I'm wrong, they're coming up. But no, I'm pretty sure they're next week. Welcome in, my friends. So they reached out to you? Tell me more about Oprah.
They found my website and they just sent me an email. And at first I was like, okay, this is just a spam. This is a joke. And my husband was like, well, write them back. Let's just see if it is. And it was not a joke. They sent me all the full postage.
Oh, cool.
And we do, well, like I said, Team Mould is my Disney passion, and my rubber stamp company is something that I do just to be able to release all of my creative art. And, I said, I do draw all of that. So, I mean, it's me,
That's really cool. No joke. We've been playing around, but you are obviously insanely talented. I mean, just alone that what's the great movie ride? The great movie ride. I didn't even mean to be funny there. The new Mickey ride. That is right in. Yeah, there you go. That is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, and we had just my company, the Sea Rubber Stamp Company. I absolutely love them. It's a wonderful thing we've been doing for quite a while. It's just me and my husband. So I draw everything. We do all the customer service, and
Wow.
it's just kind of been our fun side hustle. So that's why I think I haven't really opened up a Team Mould, Etsy store or anything like that.
Totally.
Just because I've been so busy. But we've been thinking about on the Just Galen Original store, maybe putting like a category where we put some of this kind of stuff up, just so that it's one-off and I don't have to worry about multiple stores.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
why not, right? I mean, hey, here's my side project. You've already got fans on both sides, right? You probably get a little crossover. Hey, John just subscribed to your Team Mould. I appreciate that. Guys, yeah, check out Team Mould. If you like artistic...
We are so close to 1,000. There
you go, guys. Help her out. We got Magic of the Mouse breaking a number tonight. Hopefully we'll get them to break a number tonight too. As a small YouTuber, those round numbers mean a lot to us. I don't really know why, but they do. They do. So anyway, yeah. So does all the drawing. Super. Yeah. So you went to school for costumes.
Yep.
But obviously your skill it surpasses just that. I mean, artistic people are just crazy, right? Like I wish I had some of that.
My grandmother and my mom are just crazy artists. I mean, they can draw like nobody's business, and my whole life it's one of those that I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up, but I really should have just realized that if I just watched what they were doing and watched what I was doing, I would have found that passion sooner. And
the magic sauce, the secret sauce about trying to decide what you want to do when you grow up is just not growing up. I mean, there's no reason to grow up. It's a freaking trap. It's a lie. You don't need to. Have fun and find a way to do it. I don't know about your rubber stamps, but I'm guessing you're having fun. It looks like you're having fun on your YouTube channel. Am I right?
We love it. I love it. And, for me, when I was younger, before I decided to go to college for costumes, my original dream was to actually go and be an animator at Disney. And so if you look at the way that I draw, everything for me is very heavy-handed, old school, because I mean, computer animation, it's amazing what it can do, but I am a fan of old school. I love seeing like all the big, heavy, thick lines, like when you hand draw it. And so for me, that was the kind of animation I wanted to do. Was I wanted to take the time, draw it by hand. I mean, enhance it by computers, but I love like Princess and the Frog. To me, they should have taken the time to really push the fact that they drew all of that. And Disney really didn't promote that the way I think they should have. And I remember as a kid going to, I'm going to call it MGM because that's what I remember it as. And I remember we went there and they were walking us through the animation building. And my mom said my eyes were just like that big, just staring at the animators sitting there at their tables drawing. And I said, why didn't you tell me that sooner? But I sat there and I remember the tour guide, because they used to take you on tours and they'd kind of keep hustling you along to kind of keep moving on. And the guy let me stay there for, I think it turned out to 6 groups came through.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, just sit right here, honey. It's okay. Just stay right here. Just enjoy watching. And it was so cool because it just moved me so much. And so I knew creative, artistic, and being able to do that with my channel and be able to do, my Disney passion. I mean, it's kind of been my animator dream.
That's so cool. I love that you shared that. Do you have a favorite Disney animator?
Well, I have a favorite animation style. I mean, I enjoy like what Tim Burton does, like that very different style, I mean, because it's so heavy handed, but no, I don't really have a favorite animator.
My family, when I was very young, were friends with Gary Goldman, who left Disney to be with Don Bluth. He did a bunch of iconic scenes. He did the Penny and in the Rescuers, the Penny and the Dragonfly, and he did a lot of stuff. He's in the animator world. He's very, very well known. And again, he moved on to Don Bluth Productions. But part of my family's love of Disney was enhanced by that for sure. And I've always loved animators too. I only recently came to believe I'm creative. The creativity that I respect is your kind, the artistic.
Oh, thank you.
No, I mean it. You're welcome. I don't have that. Like I'm looking at Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, the Hill, and Jack on Top, and the art of that moves me. I can't do that. My creativity is, how to, get 18 more hours out of a spreadsheet of employees. My creativity is a different space, but I love that. I can't create that. I can't even think of it. Now, my wife can, but it's a different way of looking and a different way of expressing yourself. I wish I had it. How did you enhance it? Do you think it's natural? Is it learned? A little bit of both? I'd love to hear you say more.
It's a little of both. It definitely is a little of both. I can tell you it's also really hard sometimes to get people to understand what you know or don't know. Like I'll start a stream and I'll start with just like a Mickey base. And they'll be like, "You're going to do what with it?" And I'm like, "Well, just stay with me. I'll show you. I'll show you. I promise. It's me."
I don't have the future steps in my head like you guys do.
And so sometimes when I first started the channel, it was tough to kind of educate people that I actually do the art or that I draw the stuff. Because they'd be like, "Oh, cute DIY crafts." And I'm like, it's bigger than that though. So I try to.
When I learned of you, before I knew you, I'm getting to know you tonight. Before I knew your channel, is a better way to say it. When I hear, okay, so you're on Resort TV 1's channel and you hear do-it-yourself crafts, that's cool. Lots of people love that. Lots of my friends love that. My wife loves that. But you're more artistic than I think that states. I don't know. I'm tripping on my words because I don't want to say it wrong.
No, it's hard to explain that. You know what I mean? And you're right.
Sure.
But for me, it's been the only space to kind of get it out there at first was to say DIY. Because people get that. They go, "Oh, DIY, cool." But then I've had people go, "Whoa, that's way too complicated. How can I do that?"
Yeah.
And so we have a Facebook page as well. And I link it in all my videos. And in there, I'll do a lot where I'll draw the line art and give it to you. So you can try and do stuff like that too. Just because people go, "Well, I can't draw that." Well, I didn't, I don't say you have to, Yeah.
So I run after school programs. Think Boys and Girls Clubs. I used to be with Boys and Girls Clubs. We've gone independent since, but it's the same stuff. And so we do arts and crafts. And I think the world sometimes thinks arts and crafts is the same thing. Crafts is, what my 9-year-olds do with all the glitter and glue that I have to, and it goes high level too, but that's crafts for kids. Art is, Van Gogh and Michelangelo and obviously there's different levels, right? But we separate it that way with our kiddos. But it's hard to define. Dougie, thank you, buddy. Dougie Waltogram's just becoming a member of the channel. It means a lot to me, buddy. Thank you. I want to ask you a question, but I don't want to ignore Tim. I left it up there, so I'm going to forget about what I was saying. Dole Whip Dad, ask her to repeat her online store name before you go. I'd like to check it out. And I left it up there, and I don't want to forget, so I'm going to ignore me and ask that. What's your channel for them that want to check it out, pretty please? And somebody can drop the link if you'd like. That'd be cool.
Oh, sure. It's just JessicaLynnOriginal.com.
Now, guys, that's not in my show notes or.
It's not that. We weren't planning on talking about that. We just started talking about art, and it kind of evolved.
I didn't write it down because I've got 2 things in my hands right now. But if somebody sends that to me, email it or whatever, somewhere not on this stream, I'll put it in the show notes for later for people to find. If you're watching this on replay, hello, thank you. In the notes by then.
We're glad to have you on replay.
Exactly. I'm way behind in chat, guys. But again, Dougie, thanks for becoming a member of the channel. Means a lot, blessing me and my family, and I love you, my man. Yeah, right. Dougie must be a night owl. Dougie is all the way from the future, and it's dark time there. It's dark time here. It's morning time there. Anyway, man.
Tim Rainwaters, I see you on there too.
Tim is awesome. How you doing,
Tim
bud?
and his family have come to visit while I've actually done some of these live before.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, Tim Pruitt is asking about Etsy. So, do you want to talk about your Etsy? I think he's asking for that again. It's not Team Mould. It's
actually a store. It's actually a regular website. So it's just JessicaLynnOriginal.com.
There you go.
Yep. And we do rubber stamps. And then if someone was looking for one of these, you could just toss me a message and I'd love to work with you guys. So, and it's fun. We love to put these up where you can like laminate them and then put them on your windows, and the kids have so much fun. So
and there you go. Lynn dropped that link. Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks.
Now I'll go find it in the replay of this.
Yeah, and we've actually, thank you so much for even bringing up all of that art information, because it's very hard to kind of find your way as a Disney channel without being able to push too much art on people, but also try to find that middle ground of DIY adventures. And so thank you for bringing all that up. I appreciate it.
Sure. I love the Disney community. I love Disney. I love
Me too.
Disney cast members. I love Disney animators. I love everything about Disney. And a new niche for me the last 3-4 years is this beautiful Disney YouTube community. And it bleeds off of YouTube too. Like this show, Disney creators, DisTube, whatever we're calling this show, whatever the heck it is. I'm actually thinking about stopping using the word DisTube so much because I don't want it to get it pigeonholed on just YouTube. Like we had, last week they have a YouTube channel, but they were mostly an Etsy store. They were very artistic. It's people who share Disney is who I want to share with the people who like my channel. And people who are creating on top of the love for Disney are my jam, whether that's cool, cute things for your all-star movie resort window, or it's higher level, whatever the heck that, all of it is awesome. And whether you're creating it or you're watching somebody create it, whether you're learning how to do it like you or just enjoying it, I love that. And so, I don't know, I love this show to be able to spread what you do and others do to this group. What else can they expect from your channel? What do you got coming up? I can't believe we're already at the end. We got a couple more minutes.
I know. It went so fast.
No, it did. I feel like I wasted so much time talking. I want to listen more.
No, we're good. And Tim, definitely. Durango's, I'll tell you, I worked there many years ago. So, yes. No, the things we're working on right now, we ended up finding some really amazing these wooden clocks that we're going to go in and repurpose, because we had an idea to go in and start doing some Disney repurposing. So those are going to be coming soon that Aaron actually did. So if you like The Mandalorian, he did a really cool scene that I can't wait to share. I just have to edit it. And it has them on there, and then I painted. So it's pretty cool. We found some really cool signs that we're going to be making for birthday parties. So that'll be fun. So people can do that for their kids. Rapunzel, Tangled, etc. I've got more of these because we've got our trip still planned for the fall. This one's my favorite too.
Yeah.
So we've got our trip planned in the fall. And so I have 3 made. So I have to make a couple more. So, and we put them, even if we stay at the wilderness, I put them on the outside of the door.
That's fun. Well, I don't know why I said all. Yeah, I do. I can tell you why I thought all. Because last time we were there, and everybody on the, you're in your row. Everybody in a whole row had something up but us. I'm like, we got to go buy some stuff, put it in the window. My wife's like, no.
I've seen it where they have like Christmas lights and Halloween. They'll do Halloween lights and all kinds of, yeah.
Love it. You know what? We're going for Halloween and we're going for New Year's Eve. You know what? I'm not asking her. She might be listening. I'm bringing stuff. Maybe the stuff you just saw.
Tell me what you want, and I'll make them for you. That's totally cool.
It's fun. Fact, if my wife doesn't want them, I want them even more.
We can ship them to the hotel, and they'll be waiting. I'm a bad enabler there, right?
That's all right. I won't even listen to her if she says no anyway, so it doesn't matter. Magic the Mouse TV, Magic the Mouse podcast. My sponsor, my friend. Check out Magic the Mouse TV. You know what? I'm going to go and see. He better be over 200 people. Magic the Mouse TV, when we started the night, was at $199. I'm clicking a little button. It's going like this right now. Get over to him and give him some love. He's a great guy, great channel. And
I want to say that I was 200, I think.
201 right now. You know what? I'm happy, but I'm not. Get over there. Give him some love. Magic the Mouse, the podcast. Awesome. I love it. So much fun. Bill Guerrero Sr., Bill Guerrero Jr., Tom's on there. I've been on there. Richard's been on there. I heard a rumor that Lynn's on there, but I don't want to say anything about it because we're in a competition, like I said before. But get over, give him some love, subscribe, follow, listen to all those things. And Team Mould, you know what? You can go to www.teammould.com and it goes right to your YouTube. Is that true?
It does, yeah. Well, you know what? Cool. All of a sudden when we first started, it had that really long, weird bunch of letters. And I'm like, nobody's going to ever remember that. So I was like, I wonder if the domain, done, bye. All right, purchase.
That's a good call.
So I figured then it just redirects right to it, and we can link everything there. So again, it's just Team Mould, and so yeah, .com.
My channel doesn't have a good jingle like that. I'm gonna have to. See, this is where I'm not creative.
Well, I've got to space it out right so that they don't think it's the other version.
MOU is kind of. They can't copyright the letters of your own name.
Right.
It is your name.
It is, yeah.
I'm guessing you could get away from it, or away with it, not away from it, away with it.
Yeah, we've talked about doing like a new intro and trying it and see if I upload it, see what'll happen.
I would. So. Now I totally want to do it. I want to do a parody of it and make it. I should shut up.
Nice. Okay, we're gonna have to talk offline, right?
There's talented ones in my house. They can do the singing. I can do the writing. They can do the singing. So guys, we're right up against the time. You know what, Jessica? This has been a blast. It went really, really fast. You know what I didn't say to you, but I usually say pre-show. It always goes so fast. It certainly did tonight for me, at least, and it sounds like it did for you too. Mm-hmm. Guys in chat, get over to her channel. Get over to teammould.com. Give their channel some love. Check out the not Etsy shop and support other Disney creators, guys, and also get over to Magic Mouse TV and Magic and Mouse the podcast and give him some support. He's a great guy, and again, the sponsor of the show and the show that comes up in a half an hour, which is called Creator Talk Live. Me and Lynn will be talking about the 30-day creator challenge from Daryl Eves. It's been interesting. I'm not going to lie, it's been interesting, but he's great. He's forgotten more about how to grow on YouTube than I'll probably ever know in my whole life. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Annette, thank you for that. Fun show. Lingerers, I'm so glad you're here. Dougie, Waltergrams, thanks for becoming a member. Memberships and super chats. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys so much. Jessica, the last minute's yours. What do you want to say to the people about what you got coming up or anything you want? Anything at all?
I just want to say you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having me here today. This has been so much fun. I love the Disney community. I am just like all of you. I go out and I watch hundreds of hours, way too many hours, of YouTube channels. I love watching the point of view videos. So keep sharing what you guys have, and don't forget to come back and visit Team Mould. Again, we're going to be adding a bunch of new crafts very soon, and hopefully once things start moving, and we're hoping this fall we'll be back into the parks. So
amen. Yeah. A little off topic, but how is Wisconsin? I live in Texas, and we've been back to normal for weeks. How is Wisconsin? Are we back to normal? Are we staying in the house? How are we doing up there?
It's a mixed bag. It literally is by county here. It's crazy. Yeah, okay. I mean, literally, you can be, within one city, and then the next city's still closed, and then the next one's open, and the next one's closed. So it's very confusing. Yeah, well,
praying for everybody. It is what it is, but it's nice that we have this to connect. There's so many people that are, I'm just going to say it this way, are looking at it in the negative, and that we don't have all these connections. I'm even seeing commercials where, I haven't talked to anybody in a long time. Yes, you can. We can do it right here. It's different. I get it. I can't hug you, but I can talk to you, and I don't know, find those connections where you need to, people.
We've really tried to focus on the fact that what other time in my life would I ever get this amount of time to play with my 3 and my 6-year-old?
Amen.
So
everybody always says, man, if I only had 2 months to do nothing. You just did. So I don't know. I fell in love with my dogs. I got to be honest. It's 2 things have changed in my house. One, my dogs love me, and I love my dogs. Not that we didn't already, but in a closer number. Another level of love. And number 2, there's freaking dog hair everywhere downstairs. What the heck? I'm going to have to get a new vacuum, but it is what it is. Jessica, you've been awesome. Tell the rest of Team Mould we love them. We miss them tonight. But I appreciate you.
It's a little late for them, so that's why they're not here.
Totally understand. I love your shirt. Love what you shared with us. Love your channel. Team Mould, www.teammould.com. I don't know where my brain went there. Lynn, you're right. I need some coffee, and we'll get it, because Creator Talk starts in 28 minutes. Talking Daryl Eves, 30-day creator challenge. I should shut up now. Get over to her channel. Get over to Magic and Mouse TV, the YouTube channel, and the podcast. That's it for now, guys. You don't go anywhere, please, Jessica. I'll say thank you to you.
All right.
But everybody in chat, you don't have to go, but you can't stay here. But you can, because in 26 minutes we'll be Creator Talk Live.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
All the buttons to